नारायण 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 नारायण. Respected friends, welcome you all. Vedic chanting, common sense thought, mantrocharana, sankalpa prarthana, prarthana sankalpa, Upanishad mantra ucharanam, and Upanishad adhyanam. Through these five things, we are just trying to make a habit of spending our at least 1 hour in search of the truth, in its understanding and tuning, etc. Though our main purpose is studying the Upanishads, but the before activities tune us, prepare us, make us qualified for that. That's why all those also we do. Upanishad is Shwethashwathara, JEEVA is explained in all its details. Also in that included directly, this is how we are denying ourselves of the moksha, the Paramatma Anubhuti by our own choice of being the Jiva by invoking all these lakshanas or identifying with all the upadhis. So the problem diagnosis, we can title this topic of the Upanishad as where the Jiva lakshanas are explained. And after that topic is done, how this Jiva has to get rid of his bondage to rediscover his essential self. That will be touched in last two mantras of this fifth chapter, and that will be the content in the entire next sixth last chapter also of this Upanishad. Let us study them. Friends, in our Vedic chanting today, we are doing from yesterday the Veda Mantra Manjari. In that, we have seen yesterday the first one, Ganapatyatarva Shirsha Upanishad. Today we will do Punyaha Vachanam, then Varuna Avahanam, then Pavamana Suktam. And it suits us that tomorrow it will be Lagunyasaha Ityadi, which are about the Rudram. Achayana, then Shivopasana mantras. Tomorrow is Somvara. So take out the Punyaha Vachana mantra. Om Om Atha Veda Parayinam Punyaha Vachanam Om Brahmajnanam Prathamam Purastad Visimatas Surucho Vena Avaha Sabudniya Ubama Asya Vishtas Sadascha Yonimasatascha Vivaha नाके सुपर्णमुपयत्पतन्तं हृदा वेनन्तो अभ्यचक्षदत्वा हिरण्यवक्षं वरुणस्य दूतं यमस्य योनौ शकुनं भुरुण्युम् आप्यायस्व समेतु ते विश्वतः सोमवृष्णियं भवावाजस्य संगते यो रुद्रो अग्नौ यो अप्सुय ओषधीषु यो रुद्रो विश्वाभुवना विवेश तस्मै रुद्राय नमो अस्तु इदं विष्णुर्विचक्रमे त्रेधा निदधे पदं समूढमस्य पागं सुरे इन्द्रं विश्वा अविवृधन् समुद्रव्यससङ्गिरो रथितमगं रथीनां वाजानागं सत्पतिं पतिम् आपो वा इदगं सर्वं विश्वा भूतान्यापः प्राणा वा आपः पशव आपोन्नमापोऽमृतमापः सम्राडापो विराडापः स्वराडापश्चन्दागस्यापो ज्योतिगस्यापो यजोगस्यापः सत्यमापः सर्वा देवता आपो भूर्भुवः सुवराप ओम अपः प्रणयते श्रद्धा वा आवः श्रद्धामेवारभ्य प्रणीय प्रचरते यज्ञो वा आपः यज्ञमेवारभ्य प्रणीय प्रचरते अपः प्रणयते वज्रो वा आवः वज्रमेव भ्रातृव्येभ्यः प्रहृत्य प्रणीय प्रचरते अपः प्रणयते आपो वै रक्षोऽग्निः रक्षसामपहत्यै अपः प्रणयते आपो वै देवानां प्रियन्दाम देवानामेव प्रियन्दाम प्रणीय प्रचरते अपः प्रणयते आपो वै सर्वा देवताः देवता एवारभ्य प्रणीय प्रचरते अपः प्रणयते आपो वै शान्ताः शान्ताभिरेवास्य शुचकं शमयते देवो वः सवितोत्पुनात्वच्छिद्रेण पवित्रेण वसो सूर्यस्य रश्मिभिः कूर्चाग्रैः राक्षसान् घोरान् छिन्दि कर्मविघातिनः त्वामर्पयामि कुम्भेऽस्मिन् साफल्यं कुरु कर्मणि वृक्षराजसमुद्भूताः शाखाया वल्लभत्वचः युष्मान् कुम्भेष्वर्पयामि सर्वपापापनुत्तये नारिकेरसमुद्भूत त्रिनेत्रहरसत्तमा शिखया दुरितं सर्वं पापं पीडां च मे नुद स हि रत्नानि दाशुषे सुवाति सविता वगः तं भागं चित्रमेमहे वरुण आवाहनम् in that कलश ॐ तत्त्वायामि ब्रह्मणा वन्दमानस्तदाशास्ते यजमानो हविर्भिः आहेडमानो वरुणेह बोध्युरुषगं समान आयुः प्रमोषेः ॐ भूर्भुवस्वरोम् अस्मिन् कुम्भे वरुणमावाहयामि वरुणस्येदमासनं वरुणाय नमः प्रचेतसे नमः स्वरूपिणे नमः अपाम्बदये नमः मकरवाहनाय नमः जलाधिपतये नमः पाशहस्ताय नमः सर्वतीर्थाधिपतये नमः सकलाराधनैः स्वर्चितम् पवमानसूक्तम् अथ पुण्याहवाचनं कुर्यात् पवमानसूक्तम् ॐ हिरण्यवर्णाः शुचयः पावकाया सुजातः कश्यपो यास्मिन्द्रः अग्निं या गर्भं दधिरे विरूपास्तान आपशग्रस्यो न भवन्दो या सागं राजा वरुणो याति मध्ये सत्यानृते अवपश्यञ्जनानां मधुश्च्युतश्रुचयो याः पावकास्तान आपशग्रस्यो न भवन्दो यासान् देवा दिवि कृण्वन्ति भक्षं या अन्तरिक्षे बहुधा भवन्ति याः पृथिवीं पयसोन्दन्ति शुक्रास्तान आपश्यग्रस्यो न भवन्दो शिवेन मा चक्षुषा पश्यता पश्यवया तनुवोपस्पृशतत्वचं मे सर्वागम् अग्निगं रप्सुषदो हुवेहो मयि वर्चो बलमोजो निधत्त पवमानस्सुवर्जनः पवित्रेण विचर्षणिः यः पूता स पुनातु मा पुनन्तु मा देवजनाः पुनन्तु मनवो धिया पुनन्तु विश्व आयवः जातवेदः पवित्रवद पवित्रेण पुनाहि मा शुक्रेण देवदीद्यद अग्ने क्रत्वा क्रतुवं रनो यत्ते पवित्रमर्चिषे अग्ने विततमन्तरा ब्रह्मतेन पुनीमहे वैश्वदेवी पुनति देव्यागात् यस्यै बह्वीस्तनुवो वीतपृष्ठाः तया मदन्तः सदमाद्येषु वयज्ञस्यामपतयोरयीणां वैश्वानरो रश्मिभिर्मा पुनातु वातः प्राणेने शिरोमयो भूः द्यावा पृथिवी पयसा पयोभिः ऋतावरी यज्ञिये मा पुनीताम बृहद्भिः सवितस्त्रुभिः वर्षिष्ठैर्देवमन्मभिः अग्ने दक्षैः पुनाहि मा येन देवा अपुनता येनापो दिव्यङ्कषः तेन दिव्येन ब्रह्मणा इदं ब्रह्म पुनीमहे यः पावमानीरध्येति ऋषिभिः संहृतगं रसम् सर्वगं सपूतमश्नाति स्वदितं मातरिश्वना पावमानीर्यो अध्येति ऋषिभिः संभृतगं रसं तस्मै सरस्वती दुहे क्षीरगं सर्पिर्मधुदकं पावमानीः स्वस्त्ययनीः सुदुघाहि पयस्वतीः ऋषिभिः संभृतो रसः ब्राह्मणेष्वमृतगं हिदं पावमानेर्दिशन्तु नः इमं लोकमतो अमम् कामान् समर्धयन्तु नः देवीर्देवैः समाभृताः पावमानी स्वस्त्ययनीः सुदुगाहि घृतश्चुदः ऋषिभिः संभृतो रसः ब्राह्मणेष्वमृतगं हिदं येन देवाः पवित्रेण आत्मानं पुनते सदा तेन सहस्रधारेण भावमान्यः पुनन्तु मा प्राजापत्यं पवित्रं शतोद्यामगं हिरण्मयं तेन ब्रह्मविदो वयं भूतं ब्रह्म पुनीमहे इन्द्रः सुनीति सह मा पुनातु सोमः स्वस्त्या वरुणः समीच्या यमो राजा प्रमुणाभिः पुनातु मा जातवेदा मोर्जयन्त्या पुनातु भूर्भुवस्वः ॐ तच्छं यो रावृणीमहे गातुं यज्ञाय गातुं यज्ञवदये दैवी स्वस्तिरस्तु नः स्वस्तिर्मानुषेभ्यः ऊर्ध्वं जिगातु भेषजं शन्नो अस्तु द्विपदे शं चतुष्पदे ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Tomorrow we will do the Lagunyasa. Wonderful. Friends, in today's simple common sense thought is there is no alternative than being aware in life to evolve. Point one. Point two. What we have to become aware of. Aware of our kayika, vachika, manasika, karmas, kriyas, involvements throughout the day which we are doing. Second point, become aware of them. By being aware of what kayika, vachika, manasika karmas we are doing throughout the day, 24 घंटे. Among them, how many of them are conducive for the adhyatmika, jivana, sadhana and pragati? They have to be listed out. And how many of them I am doing which are non-conducive, contradictory to my adhyatmika, jivana, sadhana and pragati. Just become aware of it. Then just become little wise. First of all, to know, decide, do we want to grow spiritually or not? If yes, then why in my whole day's schedule so less are the spiritual oriented activities? Then the question is, do you want to get rid of the samsara, the bondage or not? Yes, if you say, then how come the whole day is filled with those kayika, vachika, manasika activities only, maximum? This is how we become aware, we question and we understand. Where the right we are not doing, that way we are going wrong, and where we are doing the wrong, that way too we are going wrong. First, the clear picture. Then start one by one, replacing the non spiritual activities of the day, kaika, vachika, manasika, by the more and more of spiritual activities. This is what is the essence of all. While doing so, what are the hindrances? Are that first and foremost, we don't want to think. We don't want to become aware. We want to take it for granted. We just want to continue, live our days and lives, live just like that blindly. We don't want to be careful, we don't want to be aware of it. That biggest problem, personal, it is common problem, but it is personal to everyone. We have to sort out. Because like in any problem solving endeavors, the first thing is the root of the problem is diagnosed through inquiry. If the inquiry is not done through that, the problem is not diagnosed. How can we think and understand about the solution and apply? Here we go lazy. The days are spent without awareness, without proper thinking, without proper understanding, assessment, estimation, without consciously stopping to do what's not to be done and starting to do what we have. It's like today, now the time is 9:25, 9:30. So well, let us say, Ote Cheva Japan. How many of the things we have with full awareness and commitment we have done? Spiritual things. And with so much of awareness and commitment and willingness and wishes and with full of zeal and zest, how many things we have done which make us samsari or worldly or bound. Dekho, what shastras we are studying is important. But the jnanam gained through that shastra, is it used by us to rectify our lives or we are continuing to justify what we are? It's so subjective. Nobody dare to enter to question our personal life. Like I can't dare to enter to your life and question ki why from morning till now in last 3.5 hours you have not done something substantial for your spiritual evolution. What right I have? So do you can't ask me what right you have. But I have a responsibility, duty to ask myself. So to each one have to ask our own selves. You know? So it's a huge subject, can be at length discussed, but few aspects only we deal with. Simple. Little crucial it is, let us say. Key, only one thought we'll share in this such a big, huge subject. That whole day, only one thing is common that we're all trying to be happy. Every jiva, every human being, whatever he does throughout the day, he does only to be happy. And then many of things which we do definitely are giving us happiness. Instead of putting a full stop there, stopping there, ask a question. Only one question. Only one, no second. Is that the happiness which we are getting and getting contented and satisfied? Is it the highest or is it the lowest? You know, it is the greatest or it is not so great. More technically, more on the basis of Shastra, the question asked is this happiness which we are getting or enjoying, is it tamasic? Is it rajasic? Or is it sattvic? Or it is gunatita? Which happiness we are going through? This much technical, scriptural, spiritual, basic knowledge we have to have. That there are happinesses that can be of four types. Gunatita ananda, सत्वगुण आनंद रजोगुण आनंद तामसिक आनंद कहो या सुख कहो है ना. Now the discretion, the intelligence and the subtlety of a person is measured, of which person who has studied shastra for sufficient time is measured in terms of to which of these four he is giving value. The depth of my knowledge is predicted of my shastras. How? What's the measuring rod? That which of these four anandas I am understanding, accepting to be great, to be worthy. You know, if I consider Tamoguna Ananda alone is Uttama, and therefore go only for it throughout the day. That means my Shastra Adhyana has not become deeper enough at all. है ना? The Tamoguna Ananda is in the Nidra Adi, in being lazy, etc. Non-performance, Tamasika Sukham. है ना? यदग्रे चानुबंधे च सुखम मोहनम आत्मनः निद्रा आलस्य प्रमादोत्थम तत् तामसम उदाहृतम. Tamasika Sukha. Sukha only, but tamasic. If one is contented with it, means what? His spiritual awakening means understanding about spirituality or about the higher things have not awakened in him. He has not done sufficient thinking inquiry of what Shastra is saying, or also in the world of the past and the present, people who are claimed to be great and grand, glorious. है ना? किनको महान मान रहे हैं? शास्त्र या सारा जनता जो तामसिक आनंद में फंसा है. Think about it. And nobody can think for us. We have to think. Nobody can understand for us. We have to. Nobody can reset one's priorities and goals. We have to do. Then second one is the Rajasika Ananda, in which more and more of the Indriya Sukhas and Manasika attachment Sukhas are there. Some people spend the whole day in this and they get also. But that also is not so worthy because of the possibilities of the higher, greater, deeper, fulfilling, everlasting happinesses. But most of us either seek the Rajoguna Sukha, है ना? That Rajoguna Sukha is Vishayendriya Samyogat Yat Tat Agre Amrutopamam Pariname Vishamiva Tat Sukham Rajasam Smrti. And all these Vaishayika Sukhas of Rajoguna Pariname Vishamiva ki they are in Visha in their consequence. That the Indriya Shaktis go wasted, that the Sharira gets all the Roga and Bimari, that we end up in doing so many should not be done things, that there will be plenty of regrets, guilts, that there is no fame and name or respect. So many ways this Visharupena, the consequence will be of the Rajoguna Sukhas. There will be a guilt that यार पीछे मुड़ के देखूं तो मैं जिंदगी तो सिर्फ इन भोग सुखों में ही वेस्ट किया. If somebody is not even thinking that way and is justifying only ठीक है मैं तो मस्त मौजा किया without doing anything creative, constructive, all the money that my parents, forefathers have left for me. That arrogant fellow we cannot argue with. Remember, a wise spiritual person talks to only relatively decent guys, not such indecent, arrogant people. You can't argue with an arrogant. You cannot argue with a cunning. You know? Can you argue with a, you know, any of these other two religious people? One is arrogant, other is cunning. Fanatically arrogant, fanatically cunning. You can't. You can't argue with your own wife or husband or child when they are murkha, isn't it? Even to argue or discuss, a height is required, isn't it? We cannot argue. Such totally justifying people of arrogance की ओ मैंने मजा किया जिंदगी भर खूब खाया पिया सोया. That's not the only possibility that's there for a human. ठीक है? How much of our day is spent in this way? In the Rajasika Sukha. सुख के ही लिए हम कर रहे हैं, पा भी रहे हैं, बट कौन सा सुख? Then comes the Sattvic Sukha, where one, we are scrupulously, perfectly, with all precision, fulfilling our duties. This is Sattvic Sukha, wherein we have learned from our Shastras all the beautiful values with which we are adding the joy to the world. That is Sattvika Sukha, where there is always a thinking, an understanding, an initiative to remove the dukkha of the world around by whatever the means possible. That's called as Sevadi. This is Sattvic Sukha. देखो, Sattvic Sukha. It is remembered for long. It makes the ones who receive our seva to bless us, to pray for us, and to express that Shraddha in us, to respect us. And is not that joy is so beautiful that I have done a charitable noble work? 10 people are benefited and they are heartily thanking me. Is it not more purer and deeper than the Rajasic, Tamasic, Bhoga and Sukha of the Nidra and Vishyas? No, this you have to catch. Everybody has to catch. Nobody can impose the other person to understand this subtle, pure thing and accept it. अगर आप जिद होकर नहीं स्वामी जी, we don't find happiness in this type of service, we are happy only in the Vishaya Bhogas. I cannot argue. It is very subjective. It is you have to understand. And then the ones who do it for sufficient time, there is always a joy. They discover that joy, the higher joy, deeper joy, joy with full self-respect. है ना? ये क्वेश्चन ऑफ डिसेंस. इफ समबडी सेज कि पिछले 30 साल में मैं दिन में 12-13 घंटे सो रहा था और मुझे मजा आया, how what you talk to that fellow कुंभकर्ण? People are like that. They cannot be pramana to us. So to the other fellow says, on this world, whatever the living, non-living things that are eatable are there, I have eaten them. Waiting from Hong Kong, Thailand, China, everything. सब भोग मैंने पाया. कोई करता है तो then his mind is at very low ebb, and his understanding is lower level. So then the punya karmas, they also are in the sattvic sukha category. Then the variety of tapasyas, they are all the सात्विक sukha. है ना, उसको करके सुख पाना उसमें, है ना. Like doing exercises, yoga is a tapasya for the body. Not doing sleeping like buffalo is one way, but getting up and doing that hardship of 20 minutes of exercise, enjoying both, that I could do today my exercise as well as because of that my body is healthy, flexible, fresh. That is sattvic sukha. Tapasya karke. This is what physical, sharirik tapasya. So to the manasik vachik tapasyas of, the chanting of the mantras, the upasanas, the devotion to Paramatma, the respect, reverence to the seniors, elders, taking care of them, ये सारे सात्विक सुख होते हैं. Same way, see this coming to the class, how tough it is for 1 hour every day to sit here to listen. बहुत मुश्किल होता है. But then you see here we are exposed to our studying the thoughts of the Shruti Mata, the rishis, as to how they define the bandha and moksha, etc. तो ये सब सात्विक सुख है ना. द सुखा ऑफ द mana but positive, the sukha of the buddhi with the higher knowledges, higher convictions, higher doings are sattvic sukhas. If we are discovering sukha in that, that I go to the temple every day, spend there 15 minutes in serving or helping the pujari in the puja, 20 minutes in attending that puja, remaining 25 minutes, I do my japa dhyana and come. 1 hour I spend every day. What a beautiful joy at present only that the time is divinely utilized. Now this is what going to add up to our adhyatmika pragati. They're all sattvika sukhas. Or I am associated with an organization. So I do service there voluntary. Sattvika sukha. Or I am blessed to be a spiritual seeker at the higher level or a Mahatma. So I am with him. I join, take part in the service projects, spiritual service projects He does it. I just do my part of helping, serving. Is a great sattvic sukha, like Pujya Gurudev. So glory, great Mahatma. So in his work we are taking part. कितना महान सुख है. These are all sattvika sukhas. So which is the sukha we are convinced about and we are doing the things to enjoy. That defines our maturity. And then gunatita sukha is what? In devotion, rising above the upadis, surrendering to the Lord. In meditation, again, rising above the upadis and trying to remain in the absolute self. It is the gunatita anand. ब्रह्मानंद कहते हैं उसे को आत्मानंद. तो for what I am spending time more? Then, with all goodwill, with all discretion, with all the maturity of thinking and understanding, deciding for ourselves to change from the lower happiness to the higher, change all the activities. No need to struggle, no need to become emotional, no need to be worried, concerned. I am intellectually convinced that this is how the higher, greater, nobler, diviner, everlasting sukha can be enjoyed. So let me do that. Is it? Just do it. Just do it is the secret of success in life. The moment instead of doing it, give chance to the mind. The mind with all its excuses, justifications, emotions, projections, sentiments, and the other weapons of the fears, the sense of obligations. वो इतने सारे औजार यूज करके only one thing the mind does successfully is makes us continue doing the same nonsense. That's it. That's the achievement the mind achieves every day. And that famous age old quotation of English. We all know, no? Ki, if we continue do what we were doing so far, we continue getting what we were getting. English proverb है of the ancient past. जो हम कर रहे थे वही करते जाएं तो वही मिलता जाएगा जो अभी तक मिल रहा था, है ना? There is no inner contentment, satisfaction, fulfillment. There is no true self-respect that I could do the greater things. There is no recognition in the world that, yeah, this person has done well. He can be an example or an inspiration to us. There is no joy that we are in the good books of the elite people of the world, in the sense, the saints and sages. They should recognize us, not the bhogis and not the gundas. है ना, कोई गुंडे गिरा के आपको कह रहे चल आ जाओ यार तुम भी लगे हो हमारी तरह हमारे खेमे में ज्वाइन हो जाओ. Or the bhogis come to your house on the name of your friends and relations and tell यार आज संडे चल ताश खेलने चलते हैं घूमने चलते हैं भोग करने. If those people are recognizing us and inviting us and we are obliging them, अब कहें क्या? Isn't it? So only one question. Yes, we are doing things to get sukha. Yes, we are getting. Which is that? Tamasic, Rajasic, Sattvic, or Gunatit? It's your choice. Who can force us? Why should anybody? I know. Then it is my own job to think on the basis of the guidance definitely given by the Guru Shastra that which of these Ananda Sukhas are great. है ना? More deeply spiritually seen, every sukha we get, the nidratmaka sukha of the dravyatva, or vishayatmaka sukha of the bhogatva, or jnanatmaka sukha of the sattva guna. In fact, all gunas, all anandas are finally brahmananda, but polluted, but contaminated, but limited, but only reflecting impure. When all of those anandas are brahmananda. As a human being, when we can directly have Brahmananda, why can't go for it? This higher thought, if one can think and understand, then is really at a great level of intellectual evolution. That he is able to think subtly, understand, and do. तो देख लो भाई किस में हमारा हर दिन गुजर रहा है, जिंदगी गुजर रहा है, और किसी को कोसो मत, nobody will accept it. It is our life, it is our discretion, it is our decision, it is our endeavor, it is our achievement. That is our today's thought. Right, friends? Thank you. Today's mantra, the third topic of the day. Which mantra we should learn? Yes, today's first is Sunday, second is the Amavasya, third is today night. Night is Surya Grahana. How come the Surya Grahana comes at night is? For us at that time it is night. Therefore we don't see it. Right? It will be seen in many parts of the world, other countries, very some islands and all of that. अब देखो ग्रहण तो होते रहते हैं जनरली पौर्णमी मतलब ऑन पौर्णमी इज द चंद्र ग्रहण ऑन अमावस्या सूर्य ग्रहण ऑलवेज है ना विच एवर द टाइम ऑफ द डे इट कैन हैपन इट विल हैपन बट डिपेंडिंग ऑन द रोटेशन ऑफ द अर्थ if it is chandra grahana then if it is the daytime then that place where it is daytime you can't see it, where it is night you can see. So too when it is surya grahana, where it is night, Surya cannot be seen, so how can you see the grahana of him? Already it is dark. So where it is day, it can be seen. We all know that. So you okay, keeping all these three in mind, Surya Grahana, Ravivasara, and also our Amavasya and all, let us do the Surya Upasana mantra only. And the most important Surya Upasana mantra is our Gayatri mantra. And I am lucky that I need not explain to you this mantra at all because you are the masters of all that mantra. And yet, for my satisfaction, very shortly I say, Om again is Parabrahma Paramatma. Bhur Bhuva Swaha. Okay, these three Bhuhu Bhuvaha Swaha are outside the three worlds. Bhuhu is Bhuloka and Bhumandala. Bhuvaha is Antariksha Lokas and Antariksha Mandala. Swaha is the Swarga Loka and that's Devata Mandala, Swarga Mandala. Okay, Bhur Bhuva Swaha. Why these Vyahrutis here? Because these are the three lokas which are illuminated by Lord Surya, whom we are worshipping. Beyond that, the Surya's requirement is not there. Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapoloka, Satyaloka, they are all beyond lokas. Objective world. Subjective mein, Bhuhu is obviously the Stula Sharira. Bhuvaha is obviously the entire Sukshma Sharira. Suvaha is obviously the entire Karana Sharira. Is not these three again Sthula Sukshma Karana Shariras are illuminated or made functional because of the Atma Surya inside us. Bahar is the Bhautika Surya. Inside is the Adhyatmika Surya Bhagavan, that's the Paramatma. So in this mantra, we are praying to that Surya, recognizing him that way to be the illuminator and propeller and empowerer of both objective and subjective worlds, asking him to again empower our intellects for understanding what for the life has to be and how it has to be achieved. So Om Parabrahma Tattva, he alone is in the form of Lord Surya. Bhuhu Bhuvaha Suvaha, three Vyahrutis. Then Tat, Tat you know that Savituhu of Lord Surya. Varenyam means Varaniyam, means Shrestati Shrestha, therefore worthy of invoking. That's the meaning of Varenyam. Varenyam is Shreshtam, therefore Varaniyam. Like in the shop you go, what is Shreshtam? This. Therefore that is worthy of buying. So the Surya Bhagavan's Bhargaha Kanti Tejas is Varenyam Varaniyam. So when with my Aneka Aneka Satkarma Punya Karma, I go to Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, or Suvarloka. Let that Savituhu Varenyam Bharga. Bharga means Kanti or Shakti. Of that Surya, protect me. So too within me, when I am living a very noble life at the Stula Sukshma Karana Sharira, and also want to see the thing which is transcendental, the inner Atma Surya, I am invoking His grace, may He bless me. That's how this mantra as an Adhyatmic Sadhaka, we have to understand and meditate while chanting. So I explained to you Om, I explained to you Bhur Bhuvasvaha, then Tat Savituhu Varenyam Bhargaha. Of that Surya, the best of the Bharga, the Kanti, the resplendence, the brightness, the brilliance. The outer Surya's Kanti, we know that. And the inner Atma Surya's Kanti is Chaitanya Shakti. So Tat Savituhu Varenyam Bhargaha and Devasya. Of that Savituhu Devasya, Lord Surya's best Prakasha, Dhimahi. I meditate upon, I worship upon, I pray, I recognize its presence, I acknowledge its greatness, I understand and accept my need of it. That's the meaning of Dhimahi. तो बुद्धि से मैं उनके अस्तित्व का ध्यान करता हूँ, उनके अस्तित्व को स्वीकार करता हूँ, उनके महिमा का ध्यान करता हूँ, महिमा को स्वीकार करता हूँ, उनके आवश्यकता को मेरी जिंदगी के लिए मैं स्वीकार करता हूँ और उसके लिए मुझे उनके प्रति ध्यान उपासनाएं करनी है. That also I know and understand and accept. Therefore, after doing all the upasana, I do the dhimahi. Or I do the dhimahi and I do the upasana. Or dhimahi is enough. I meditate upon. Dhimahi means the work of the buddhi. The buddhi's work is to inquire, to contemplate, to understand, to accept, to meditate. All of these are the works of the buddhi. That's the meaning of dhimahi. Then when this way through worship, I make Lord Surya happy and he says, बताओ क्या चाहिए? I ask him, Dhiyaha Naha Yaha Prachodaya. That Surya may do the prachodana of all the buddhis of all of us. Either we say the all buddhis of all beings or my own buddhis, one buddhi only, but it's functional throughout the day. So at every moment it's functioning. Prachodayat, may it be prachodita. What is the prachodanam? First, may it not be tamasic. Second, may it not be rajasic. Third, may it be always be by buddhi thoughtful as guided by the gurus, as guided the shastras, and for only my shreyas. What is the meaning of? That is the meaning of buddhi prachodanam. So मेरा बुद्धि हमेशा एक्टिव डायनेमिक रहता हुआ अपना फंक्शनिंग कॉल्ड एज थिंकिंग contemplation decision making it should keep on doing based on the guidance of guru and shastra. So based on the guidance of guru and shastra, let my intellect all the time contemplate, decide and allow me to function. For this to happen, the Surya Bhagwan's Anugraha is required, the Atma Surya and the outer Surya. Therefore, I recognizing is that power to be so great, I am meditating upon it for him to bless me. Before that, I just remember that at these levels three, I have to live as an individual here in this body and also in these different three worlds. In all those places, by the Surya Krupa, let my buddhi think, decide according to the Shruti and the elders' guidance, in which I seek only the Shreyas, not prayers. मन और इंद्रिया और शरीर वासनाएं दे सीक प्रेयस. If the buddhi का अकल का बंद ताला खुला है, it seeks shreyas. In this way, again, this mantra taking one word with more and more other commentary bhashya and thinkings and understandings of great masters, it can be explained exhaustively. But for us, for today, you and I, and to our purpose, this meaning is enough. I recognize my life outside in three worlds. I recognize my life inside three worlds. I want all these to be fulfilled. For it, the best to be done, for me to do the best, I have to have the best decisions and knowledge. And that happens in the buddhi, and that buddhi can be prachodita to have the great knowledge by the grace of Lord Surya. Therefore, recognizing that gracious ability of Surya, I meditate on him. The two Suryas are the outer Surya who is nurturing, nourishing the outer three worlds, the inner Atma Surya who is nurturing my these three Shariras and worlds of Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti और स्थूल सूक्ष्म कारण शरीर. है कि नहीं? सुना कभी ऐसा मीनिंग? We respect our Gayatri mantra, but we don't know the meaning and we never chant. We respect our Mrityunjaya mantra, but we never chant it, we don't know the meaning. We seemingly respect all our devatas, पर किसी एक देवता का एक स्तोत्र क्या एक श्लोक भी नहीं जानते. We respect our gurus, but which are our gurus we don't know only, and we are so stupid that Guru Purnima is celebrated on which God, and we don't even worship him or recognize him, and somebody else we make as Guru. And some funny people send me every Thursday some picture of some Guru. And Murak, the Gurus are our rishis, the Sapta rishis. Dhatri, Bhrugu, Vasishna, Gautama, Kapishya, Angrasa, and Jamadagni, Vaishampayana, Vishwamitra, Vedas, they are our Gurus. अब उनको भूल जाते हैं. अब करूं क्या मैं? Anyway, isn't it? We feel sentimentally that parents are great. We don't even remember them only. Nowadays, the Pitru Baksha is going on. Somehow, with all force, 2 minutes we remember. When Panditji comes and tells us to take the name of our father mother. What a tamasic and irresponsible, negligent life we live. And I'm sure all these people will be born in America next year. Because they want bhoga and they want to forget the Hindu Sanatana Dharma Yoga. So don't worry about paying 1 crore rupees for your H1B, etc. अगले जन्म इन्हीं वही होगा. Isn't it? We say we are Ram Bhakta, but what Ram Bhajan, Ram Kirtan you have done? Somebody is doing and I am listening throughout life, Murak. You start doing it. Isn't it? Somebody does puja and we go there at the time of prasadam and take and come. And this we are doing from last 5, 6 decades. Isn't it? Everything that way. We have to do it. So हर दिन सुबह नहाकर अच्छी तरह भगवान सूर्य के सामने खड़े होकर ये मंत्र बोलो. इवन शाम को भी. ठीक है फ्रेंड्स? Now let us chant. Om Bho. Don't do that Sangeetamaya Vedic chanting. Huh? Vedic chanting has its own swara. Somebody may do it who are not exposed to these classes. We don't discuss with them, we don't argue with them, we don't try to change them. We are here given the guidance by the Rishi Parampara to we follow their guidance. So we chant this mantra, the Swara Yukta, not Sangita Raga Yukta. Om Bhor Bhuva Suvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhor Suvah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suvah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Bhurvasuvah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Suryaya Namaha. The meaning is told to remember and contemplate while chanting. Don't be just chant mechanical. So to the Surya's Bharga, the outer Surya's Kanti, the inner Atma Surya's Chaitanya Kanti. Meditate on that. Bhargava Devasya Dhimahi, that is the meaning. Om Bhur Svah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Bhur Svah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Bhur Svah तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. ॐ सूर्याय नमः. ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. ॐ सूर्याय नमः. ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. ॐ सूर्याय नमः. ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. ॐ सूर्याय नमः. ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. ॐ सूर्याय नमः. ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. ॐ सूर्याय नमः. ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. ॐ सूर्याय नमः. ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. ॐ सूर्याय नमः. ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. ॐ सूर्याय नमः. ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. ॐ सूर्याय नमः. ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. ॐ सूर्याय नमः. ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. ॐ सूर्याय नमः. ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. ॐ सूर्याय नमः. ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. ॐ सूर्याय नमः. ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. ॐ सूर्याय नमः. ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. ॐ सूर्याय नमः. ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. ॐ सूर्याय नमः. ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. ॐ सूर्याय नमः. ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. ॐ सूर्याय नमः. ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. ॐ सूर्याय नमः. ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. ॐ सूर्याय नमः. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति. While doing this, utter devotion, utter shraddha, full concentration, faith, ये सारे होना चाहिए. The 10 minutes of chanting totally to be done with full dedication. When we say Bhargaha Devasya Dhimahi, not that we look at the sun and is light of the sun. No. Meaning is that light of the sun which is spreading to all the three worlds and doing all that wonders, that we have to do meditation on. Like when I say meditate on the glory of Puja Gurudev, doesn't mean that you look at his face, his eyes and all. No. Glory of Gurudev is his saga of life of 77 years, how it was so great, grand, glorious, resplendent, bright, brilliant, and serving the whole world. That's what Gurudev's glory. And he's awakening the masses to the Shastras, to the Tattva Jnana, to spirituality. Meditating on that is meditation on Gurudev, not on his face only. And his books, writings, his Jnana Yajnas, his vision for the future Sanatana Dharma in India, his activities, his guidance to the Sishyas and all. That is what it is Bhargaha. Meditate on that. So to the Surya Bhagavan ke upar, meditation means the Kanti of Surya, how far it is reaching. What a wonders it's doing. All three worlds are surviving because of him. The more we contemplate, the more we respect we develop towards him because we know his glory. With that respect, more Shraddha we'll have to meditate. Isn't it? The whole globe, earth, let us. All the hundreds of countries, continents, getting the rains because of innumerable clouds. Now, who is making all those clouds? Is not Bhagavan Surya? Isn't it? And again, in summer, there are no clouds to rain. But is it not Surya who is melting the hundreds and hundreds of glaciers and making the rivers perennial to flow to support the entire life? Is he not there giving his Kirana Shakti to every leaf of every tree? For that's first the photosynthesis and then create life and sustenance for itself and give life to all of us through all the vegetables and fruits. Is it not? See the Surya Pratap. He is not the every animal, bird, human on this planet are surviving just because of Surya. That's called as Dhimahi. Devasya Varenyam Bhargaha Dhimahi. Savituhu Devasya Varenyam Bhargaha Dhimahi Karti. Same way the Atma Surya. Is it not that because of the presence of the Atman in me that all my upadhis are functioning Sthula Sukshma Karana and giving me the life of Jagra Sapna Sushupti? That's how it is. Enough. Thank you. It will be again, it will take lot of time if we go on explaining. Om 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 Sahanavavatu Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Om Yejime Gurubhi Purvam Om Shankaram Shankaracharyam Nidaye Sarva Vidyanam Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Om Sukrute Dhikrute Bahudha Bhavatu Om Brahmanandam Parmasukadam Parabrahmane Shruti Matre Samasta Brahma Bhakti Yoga Dharma विद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो श्वेताश्वतरोपजातारेभ्यो नमः संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्य बोधेन अस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्ष कैवल्य प्राप्त्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्तिश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगत्यर्थं धर्म संस्थापकानां निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थं श्रीराम मंदिरवत् शिव कृष्णादि मंदिरादीनां पुनर्वाप्तितेषु निरंतर शास्त्र अध्ययनादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातनधर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यन्तर शत्रुविघ्न समूल निर्मूलन पूर्वक भारतवर्षे विश्वे च अस्मात् क्षणादारभ्य वैदिक हिंदव संस्कृते धर्ममोक्षपुरुषार्थानां सुसंप्रतिष्ठा तस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां संकल्पितसत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयः तेषां हृदये परब्रह्मादीनां प्रति भक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्म साफल्यार्थम् अनेकशास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्नमध्ये श्री कृष्णेश्वरवेदीय श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदः आद्यशङ्कर भाष्य समेत अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मोक्षार्थम वयम सर्वे करिष्यामहे। शांति मंत्र: ओम नित्यानंदम निराधारम निखिलाधारम अव्ययम निगमाद्यगतम नित्यम नीलकंठं नमाम्यहम्। पारायणम अथ षष्ठोऽध्यायः। 13, 14, 15, 16। ओम एको वशी निष्क्रियाणां बहु सॉरी हो गया नित्यो नित्यानां चेतनश्चेतनानाम् एको बहूनां यो विदधाति कामान् तत्कारणं साङ्ख्ययोगाधिगम्यं ज्ञात्वा देवं मुच्यते सर्वपाशैः न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चन्द्रतारकं नेमा विद्युतो भान्ति कुतोऽयमग्निः तमेव भान्तमनुभाति सर्वं तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति एकोऽहं सह भुवनस्यास्य मध्ये स एवाग्निः सलिले सन्निविष्टः तमेव विदित्वा अतिमृत्युमेति नान्यः पन्था विद्यते यनाय स विश्वकृत् विश्वविदात्मयोनिः ज्ञः कालकारो गुणी सर्वविद्यः प्रधानक्षेत्रज्ञपतिर्गुणेशः संसारमोक्षस्थितिबन्धहेतुः। 16 श्लोकों का पाठ हो गया। 23 are there, 2 more days. Now, mantra number 8 done, 9 done, 10 we are just seeing it. What is happening in mantras from 7 onwards? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 are talking to us about all aspects, all ingredients of the jiva for us to be understood. 13, 14 tell us about how to transcend this jiva bhava within us and realize the atma anubhava and establish it and never come back, come down to the level of sufferings. गुणान्वयो यः फलकर्मकर्ता कृतस्य तस्यैव सचोपभोक्ता. Then सविश्वरूपस्त्रिगुणस्त्रिवर्त्मा प्राणादिभः संचरति स्वकर्मभिः. 8 aspects of jiva. अंगुष्ठमात्रो रवितुल्यरूपः संकल्प अहंकार समन्वितः बुद्धेः गुणेन आत्मगुणेन चैव आराग्रमात्रः अपरोपि दुष्टः. Again 7 or 8 points. Then बालाग्रशतभागस्य शतधा कल्पितस्य च भागो जीवस्य विज्ञेयः तदानन्त्याय कल्प. Here the jiva is jiva with sukshma sharira tadatmya. Sukshma sharira is so sukshma like that 1/10,000th part of the hair. Again, don't try to calculate, measure in the measurable terms of micromillimeters, etc. No, that's not the indication of using this type of calculating words. Indication is to accept, understand that it is very subtle. That's sukshma. Then this sukshma jiva only, depending on his punya papa, whatever the sized sharira he is given, he gets into that size. That same jiva bhava, when it transcends, is avidya. That jiva bhava, when it transcends, is all vasana samskara. Thereby, when it transcends his identity with the shariradi upadhi, he discovers his oneness with that supreme, which is infinite. Therefore, tad anantyaya kalpati. Basically, he is that only. This jiva is ever that Brahman only. Like the wave is ever the water only. Ornament is ever the gold only. Think about it, go deep into it. It's always gold. पहले बीच में बाद में. In between somewhere some rupa nama of the ornamentation, you give value importance to it and then call gold only as ornament. It's a bakwas. What you are saying is always gold. So that way, there's nobody called as Jiva, Sukshma Jiva, or the big Jiva of Indra, Chandra, Brahma Deva, or the chief ministers, prime ministers, or the whale, seals, dinosaur, elephants, hippopotamus. Some bakwas, there's no Jivas, all are Brahman. That's the highest convinced understanding out of the study of Shastras with the Bhashya for long, 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 long time. Refuse to accept the reality given to the seen Rupanama, just like how much ever the noble values, the right way of living our Guru Shastras teachers, we just refuse to listen to them and follow. As much we do this at the time of our own murkata, ahankara, so too when our jnana becomes full emerged or blossomed, that time, same thing we do. What's that? We will refuse to recognize and accept the reality of all this Rupanama, even though we involve in them. That audacity. Like we have the audacity of disregarding all the devatas, even though we are living because of their blessings. Aina? We refuse to recognize and respect our own parents, even though we are born to them and we are protected and brought up by them. Aina? We refuse to respect our own nation, which is supporting our life and presence and giving us an identity. We refuse to accept, acknowledge the glory of our own Sanatana Dharma, even though we are given all the beautiful things because of it. ऐसी मूर्खता जैसे यहाँ करते हैं वैसा ही ज्ञानम वहाँ करना है. When we get that knowledge, then all these स्थूल सूक्ष्म कारण किधर है तो एक ही ब्रह्म. Only one Brahman is reality. Anything other Brahman, other than Brahman is our Brahma. Come to that understanding conviction and don't tell others. You become stronger in that knowledge. With the strength of the knowledge, outside, inside, reject the importance given to the everything other than Brahman and find that in the consequence of peace of mind. With that peace, calm, quiet mind, just plunge deep inside the Hridaya Kuhara. There we see the Satchit Parabrahma as I am. हो गया बात. इस तरह करना है हमको, राइट. सो हियर बालाग्र शतभागस्य शतदा कल्पितस्य भागः जीवः स विज्ञेयः तदानन्त्याय कल्पते. He is none but the Ananta Brahma. Done. Now this Jiva being not a Sharira, very Sukshma concept only, he cannot be having any gender. Therefore, he cannot be talked in the language of genders. है ना, मेल फीमेल इन दैट ऑल्सो, छोटा मोटा बड़ा तगड़ा काला गोरा, ये सारे हैं शरीर के होते, नॉट टू द जीव. अब जीव के ही नहीं होते तो हाउ कैन दे बी टू द आत्मन. थिंक अबाउट इट. सो इफ यू थिंक इन दिस वे ऑन द बेस ऑफ scriptural Upanishadic Vedantic knowledge given, how many wrong notions, wrong convictions, wrong concepts we are having as a base to live a wretched worldly life and suffer. पता चल जाता. Correct. Now go to the next mantra. Kim cha. 10th mantra. Naiva strena pumaneshah. Na chaivayam na pumsakah. Yadyat shariram adatte. Tena tena sarakshyati. Again. Naiva strena pumaneshah. न चैवायं न पुंसकः यद्यत् शरीरमादत्ते तेन तेन स रक्षति रक्ष्यति रक्ष्यते. तो एषः जीवः न एव स्त्री, never ever he is feminine, न पुमान, never ever he is masculine, then न चैव न पुंसकः, never ever he is the neuter. Yet Yat yat shariram adatte. This jiva, whichever the nature of the body, he is given because of his karmas prarabdha, and he gets identified because of his ignorance. Yat yat shariram adatte. Tena tena sa rakshate. Then his jiva bhava is sustained with his identity with that particular sharira. And he continues doing whatever that identities demand. Tena Rakshate means not protected. Rakshate means he is caught up in it. Like in that entire huge globe of the earth, some country, India, some state, some district, in some गांव में एक जगह 60 जग वाला एक घर बनाकर मेरा घर है करके हम उसमें फंसे रहते तेन तेन च रक्षत so too out of the infinite quantity of Panchamahabhutas through their combination one stupid human body of 60, 50, 70 kgs with a height of 5.5 is produced, projected. We, the Jiva, ghuso in that and identify with that and say, Ye main hu bas. Isn't it? Vichitra hai sab. Now, the bhashya of this mantra. So, Naivastri iti. I am commenting on this mantra which is starting with the word Naivastri. Please listen. That's what is Adi Shankar Bhagavan says. We said, Hey Guru, please guide us. Here is his guidance. He says, He Swataha himself, this Jiva, Sata means by his own internal innate essentials nature or self. Swataha. कौन है ये जीव स्वतः अद्वितीय one without second aparoksha direct personal immediate brahma the reality the supreme brahman atma his own self swabhavatvat because that is his swabhava. So this jiva by his swabhava is advitiya brahma only. Because of this he is naiva stri. He is never ever the stri because the brahman has no body. And Jiva is Brahman in his essential self. So he cannot have body, therefore he is not Stri. So, na puman eva eshaha. Now it is a Purusha also. Naiva cha ayam napumsakaha. Narivene napumsakaha, gender neutral. Then, yadyat shariram. Yadyat shariram means yadyat Stri shariram, Purusha shariram, napumsaka shariram va. Va means or. Either of these three shariras adatte. In animals, in humans, in birds. इन सब में भी स्त्री पुरुष है कि नहीं यद्यत शरीरम आदत्ते तेन तेन by those shariras sahacha vijnanatma that jiva who now has become vijnanatma. What is vijnanatma? Knower, identifier and doer through that and enjoyer to that. Like I am the jiva vijnanatma, know my sharira, identify with the sharira, do the karmas with the sharira, and enjoy the sukha dukkha again with the sharira. He is called Vijnana. है ना जानाति इच्छति करोति भुंक्ते दिस कॉल्ड एज विज्ञानात्मा जानाति knows इच्छति desires kurte does भुंक्ते he goes through sukha dukkha that vijnanatma rakshyate rakshyate means samrakshate means tat dharman atmani adhyasya abhimanyate samrakshate means what samrakshate means tat dharman atmani the dharmas of all these upadhis, male sharira or female sharira, neuter sharira, and its other dharmas of from the birth till the death, its various modifications, including diseases, etc. ये सारे उस शरीर के धर्म है शरीर के धर्म क्या है ना अस्थि जायते वर्धते विपर्णते अपक्षिते विनश्यति which are the sharira male or female or neutral so tatta dharman atmani adhyasya he just imposes all of them on himself. Then Abhimanyate. He has the Abhimana now. He has got the identification. What is it? Sthuloham. I am very fat. I am a woman, I am very fat. And I want to reduce my weight. Weight, so much fat हूँ वो मोटापन मुझे कम करने में डॉक्टर जा रहा हूँ no doctor is probably guiding me everybody is misguiding me and what guidance you are asking I am asking only one thing to every doctor And every doctor is telling only the opposite thing. That's why I hate all doctors. है ना? And ask only one question. Oh, डॉक्टर साहब, मैं इतनी मोटी हूँ, ये मेरा मोटापा कम होने के लिए मैं क्या खाऊं? That's what I ask. And every stupid doctor replies, stop asking वो क्या खाऊं, जो खा रही है उसको छोड़ पहले फिर पतले हो जाए. That's why I hate all doctors. Nobody is guiding me properly. है ना? Our intelligence is proved in this way, in both ways. इतनी मोटी हो गई हूं मैं या मोटा हुआ हूं, उसको पतला होने के लिए मैं क्या खाऊं? उसी तरह मैं खा खा के इंडाइजेशन से सफर कर रहा हूँ. डॉक्टर साहब, टू रिमूव दिस इंडाइजेशन मैं क्या खाऊं? I enjoy these two jokes, the practical jokes. To reduce the indigestion, है ना? What can be the treatment other than stop eating? अपने आप सेट हो जाता है ना. But then we want to eat for adjusting the digestion and make it effective, and it's temporary. है ना? All digestives लेकर अब temporarily over exert करा रहे हो अपने digestive system को. The digestive system digest नहीं कर रहा मतलब गलत खाना ज्यादा खाना दिया है. अब उसको छोड़ दो तो ठीक हो जाता है. Self repairing system है inside. Anyway, very big subject. So sthuloham. The other fellow says kurshoham. I am very thin and lean. What to do? Then puman aham. I am man. Stri aham. I am women. Napumsakoham. I am neuter. In this way, abhimanyate. He does the abhimana by putting on himself the dharmas of the sharir. अब देखो, see how many times this subject we listen, and yet how much our occupation already with the idea that I am the Sharira only. And we think and conduct in that way only, that we can't even pause and spare for some time to contemplate on these words and understand the indicated meaning that the Shruti Mata is telling us, to separate our identity with the Sharira and at least first of all accept yourself to be Jiva. हम वहां तक भी हम नहीं पहुंच रहे. That's the purpose of all this subject, is to say that you are not Sharira, you are Jiva. Then you are not even Jiva, you are the Brahman, that will be told. Okay, this is what is Shlok. Now the next one, Kena tarhi aso sharirani adatte. How, why he is compelled to take up all the shariras and how he is getting identified with them, because of which he is now a Shariri, a Jiva with the Dehadi Tadasmya and 100% Samsari suffering. That will be told to us in this mantra. 11. Chant it, see the meaning tomorrow. Sankalpana sparshana drushti mohaihi grasambu vrushtya cha atma vivruddhi janma कर्माणुगान्यनुक्रमेण देहि स्थानेषु रूपाणि अभिसंप्रपद्यते. This and next mantra tell how we as a jiva do the nonsense and get various shariras and get bound by them. Last two mantras tell the sadhana to get out of it. प्रभु की कृपा से सब हम सुने, सोचे, समझे, अमल करें, अपने आप का कल्याण करें. ओम 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 पूर्णमदः. ओम शांति शांति. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. तत्सत् ब्रह्मार्पणस्तु. श्रुति मात्रे नमः. Interested? Come for Gita. Om.